Intuitive Edge here. Welcome to my channel. This is where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. Today I'd like to take a look at the recent allegations, again, coming up for Justice Brent Kavanaugh. There's been another supposed accuser, but here's what happened. The New York Times wrote a piece suggesting that there was another person coming forward with allegations of sexual misconduct against Justice Kavanaugh, and they since retracted their writing, their piece, and have stated that the person couldn't corroborate their story, and so basically it came to nothing. Now, this is interesting because when the news media, powerful news media such as the New York Times, puts out a piece like that, generally it gets read, and if they end up retracting it a week or a few days later, not very many, that loses its impact. It's not as impactful when you retract something as it is when you put something out there and people read it and it's, oh my gosh, and then you've started the firestorm and then it spreads, and then by the time if you do retract it, it's kind of, by then it's already gained enough momentum in people's minds and hearts. So I'm curious about that aspect of it, and that's what I want to touch on in this reading. So I laid out 6 cards. First off, I want to look at the question of, is the allegation true? Okay, was there sexual misconduct? Now, we have the justice card upside down. Now, generally, the justice about balance, fairness, upside down, it can be an unfair situation or an untrue situation. Now, we've got the consequences card in this deck. Hold on, guys. The card just went flying. Okay, all right. Sorry about that. So we have the consequences card upside down. So I'll show it to you upright. So this is the cat, again, tangled up in the ball of yarn, getting tangled up in a situation, all right? As it is upside down, tends to, for me, looks as though it's an unfair situation or an untrue situation tangled up, okay? So I would say it's probably the reason that the New York Times had to retract was that the allegation was never true, or at least suspect in the first place. Now, what was the purpose behind this accusation? Because I'm beginning to wonder, okay, if you put something out there that's damaging, if you want to damage somebody. And I'm wondering if this was their motive, to just throw something out that was damaging, knowing that it wasn't true, because it would put in the minds of people, like I mentioned, oh my gosh, this horrible thing, and then it gets a life of its own. So what was the purpose behind this accusation? We've got the 9 of Sky. This came in reversed. Now, this is the card of anxiety, worry, fret, nightmares, kind of, and it came in reversed. When you have the card of anxiety and fret and nightmares and it's reversed, the purpose was to put a false narrative into people's psyche to make them fret, worry, upset, to bring and to cause anxiety. This does feel it was purposeful. What did the New York Times hope to accomplish in this? That's the next question. We have the Sea Queen. Now, the Sea cards, the cards of cups, are about emotions and where we're at emotionally and our feelings. And this is like, the picture on this Sea Queen is this cat reflecting into a pool. And to me, this is like, this pool is like your pool of emotion, your pool of feelings, and it's reflecting into that. And it feels as though that this was designed on purpose to kind of taint that pool of feeling and emotion, to have a certain emotional response. or emotional feeling to kind of taint that water in a big way. My next question was, did the New York Times meet that objective? Was that what they were after, and did they meet that objective? And we've got a Fire King. So I think even though the New York Times had to kind of walk back that story, this tells me that that was the objective, was to put it out there, that the retraction isn't as important as planting that seed into that pool of emotion and feeling. And that creative energy of the Fire King, that's a strong energy. It's not reversed. It's just, to me, this just confirms the notion that the main goal was to put that out there. So what do we need to learn from this? You know, when we go to trusted news organizations, we want to know and trust that what we get is the truth, that it's not going to have to be retracted later, and that we can trust them, right? But what do we need to learn from this? I've got the Six of Sky. Now take a look at the artwork on this. So as you can see, there's a cat fight going on in the background of this card. And this cat's been in the fight, and he's saying, I'm done. It's time to walk away. I've had enough of this. And this cat knows when to leave, when to get out, and when to cut his losses and move on. And I think this is imploring us to have a good dose of skepticism, I guess, when it comes to any of these things. To know when to walk away, to know when to run, to know when to when to notice when something isn't lining up, when there's too much drama, too much chaos, and it's time to back off from it and get another perspective. So the last card I have, what is the outcome for Mr. Kavanaugh? Now I've got the Sea Tom reversed. I'll show it to you upright. I generally associate with this card making an offer, like a peace offering, an offer of something. With the cups and it being upside down, this feels like it was kind of an emotional drain. I wonder, though, if he has something up his sleeve that he's thinking about or toying with. But I feel like this has been an emotional roller coaster kind of for him. That he's feeling like kind of up in the air a little bit with this. Like it really, like it's hard to stay focused and grounded on what you're doing when you've got all this stuff going on in the background with people who are trying to accuse you of things that they don't have any proof of. It can be really taxing emotionally. But I'm wondering if he's considering, with that card of making an offer, I wonder if he's got something possible, considering I think the President Trump tweeted out, oh, he should sue for defamation. But I don't know that Justice Kavanaugh is like that, you know, to take matters like that. But I think it definitely is taking its toll emotionally. It feels that feeling of kind of being like you're knocked off center. That's how it feels. Okay. We have the Ace of Sea underneath this. This is a card of new beginnings also. Aces are new beginnings. I like to think of this as things being uncovered, emotional things, tied to emotions and the world of feeling being uncovered. So we may see something along those lines. Maybe more shall be revealed, more shall be uncovered regarding this situation. So I think that's it for this reading. I do sense the cards just seem to verify this, that this was done on purpose. Getting it out there was the important piece. Retracting it doesn't matter, because what gets it out there in people's minds was what was important. And this is recognizing that and knowing when to walk away from the drama. Okay. All right. The MSM keeps us on our toes. All right. I'm done with this. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.